The international music community is currently gripped by a singular obsession as we move through 2026, and the subject is none other than Jordan. As a reporter covering the evolution of modern vocalists, the narrative we're seeing is a deep fascination with her seemingly impossible vocal maturity. Since the release of her acclaimed Secret trilogy of albums, the standard for what a 20-year-old voice can achieve has been completely rewritten. Her range has deepened significantly, and her breath control defies the typical physics of pop performance. Rumors regarding her internal process have reached a fever pitch, with fans and critics alike demanding to know the truth behind the talent. The countdown to her next performance is always met with intense study by those trying to decode her gift. But behind the global acclaim and the multi-album success, a massive question remains. How does she actually maintain that voice? And is it a guarded industry secret? Our investigative team took a deep dive into her artistic timeline, tracing her practice methods back to a singular, incredible period of silence. In late 2025, reports began circulating about her total isolation, with insiders citing weeks of absolute vocal rest to preserve her instrument. While some in the media labeled this as extreme, sources close to her circle suggest this silent weeks technique is her secret weapon for rejuvenation. It is a bold defiance of modern industry expectations, where artists are pressured to be loud and constantly active on social media. Instead, trades temporary exposure for long-term vocal health, allowing her unique sound to heal and maintain its raw power. This strategy allowed her to create the powerful tone that has completely captivated the global market. While the world demands constant noise, she understands that her legendary sound is built on a foundation of absolute silence. Digging much deeper into her 2026 daily activities, documents and producer sources suggest that is doing more than just resting. She is studying the masters. Reports have surfaced that she spends hours analyzing the private production notes of the late music titan, Quincy Jones. He famously called her one of the greatest talents in the world, and we have noted that his endorsement still acts as a golden ticket in the industry today. It appears she treats his handwritten advice on vocal phrasing and breath dynamics as a sacred textbook for her daily drills. Combined with the sleek production of Gad, she has successfully bridged the gap between old-school soul and the modern digital era. This unique positioning is why her sound resonates so deeply with multiple generations. Instead of following modern pop trends, she relies on the wisdom of legends to keep her sound timeless and authentic. Unconventional mentorship doesn't stop with modern legends. Our reporting indicates a bizarre obsession with the pioneers of early recording. While most 20-year-old singers are trying to mimic current radio hits, is reportedly studying 1920s jazz masters with academic precision. She spends days analyzing the imperfect techniques of singers who recorded nearly a century ago without the help of modern technology. This isn't just a nostalgic quirk. It is a deep dive into the roots of emotional delivery and raw acoustic power. This period of intense study left many critics worried that her style might become too dated for a 2026 audience. However, she reverse-engineered those archaic styles to create something entirely new and untouchable. What she released as a result was an how to sound classic while remaining strictly under her own creative control. Perhaps the most public aspect of her process is also the most misunderstood by the general public: her refusal to wear shoes on stage. While critics have often dismissed this as a simple gimmick, scientific sources suggest it is actually grounded in acoustic physics and body resonance. Claims she doesn't just sing with her throat. She channels her entire body as an instrument, and grounding herself is her logical route to perfect pitch. She traded traditional stage polish for raw, unfiltered vibration, allowing her to feel the frequency of the music through the floor. The industry watched in disbelief as she sold out major venues by rejecting standard performance footwear. If the Barefoot Queen narrative was meant to be a distraction, it had the opposite effect, proving that her authenticity didn't need a corporate budget to resonate. Her practice environment is equally unconventional and serves as a direct challenge to the traditional recording studio model. Instead of polished, acoustically treated rehearsal spaces, reports have surfaced that she chooses to practice in the isolation of the Norwegian wilderness. Our team heard whispers that she prefers rehearsing her dynamics by singing into open mountain valleys, far from anyone who could interfere with the natural acoustics. This isn't just for show. It is a physical challenge that develops her resonance naturally, rather than through synthetic vocal coaching. Reports of accusations that surfaced regarding her privacy in 2025 forced this period of remote isolation. While many thought she was hiding, she was actually sharpening the natural acoustic weapons needed to command a global arena. Hook. This period of isolation in the mountains was the secret birthplace of her newfound vocal maturity. The logic behind her unique tone is why many experts believe her voice is based on emotion rather than repetitive technical drills. In our latest reporting, it is confirmed that her practice is 90% emotional recall and only 10% traditional vocalizing. From a journalistic perspective, this aligns with the heavy influence of her grandmother's private poetry, which reportedly inspires all of her original songwriting. While major labels spend millions on coaches to manufacture a perfect sound, she has relied entirely on her own internal authenticity. Various music forums have seen speculations arise, attempting to discredit her organic development, calling her sound too good to be true. Hook. Despite the noise and the skepticism from industry traditionalists, her live shows serve as the ultimate rebuttal to anyone questioning her technical skill. Once the physical and emotional aspects of her practice are aligned, employs a recording strategy that has left the music industry in shock. Reports suggest that during her Secret Trilogy sessions, she insisted on single-take recordings to preserve the honesty of the performance. Working closely with producer Gad, she reportedly rejected the common practice of comping or stitching multiple vocal takes together. From a reporting standpoint, this is a logistical and artistic miracle for an independent creator. Critics have noted that her tracks possess a raw energy that can only be captured when digital interference is kept to an absolute minimum. This focus on one-take magic has forced the streaming algorithms to prioritize her unfiltered sound. Hook. By refusing to hide behind studio tricks, she has set a new and intimidating standard for every other artist in 2026. As we analyze her rise, a key factor in her success is the way she has forced a debate between digital perfection and analog soul. Reporters have noted that her rejection of standard pitch correction software has created a rebel movement within the independent music scene. Industry experts suggest that the market is currently split down the middle, deciding between process perfection and the raw authenticity that leads. This unique positioning is exactly what makes her success so terrifying to many boardroom executives who rely on manufactured stars. She represents a bridge between the legends of the past and the technology of the future, without playing by the major label rules. The industry is currently at a crossroads, and her vocal honesty is the catalyst for the change. Hook. The tension is building as other artists begin to copy her rejection of the corporate music machine. As we wrap up our special report on the eve of her next world tour, the stakes couldn't be higher for the modern music industry. Major labels have spent decades and millions of dollars on vocal correction and synthetic production, while has relied on grassroots emotion and silent preservation. Whether her method is a revolutionary step forward or a return to the golden age of jazz, it is proving impossible for the world to ignore. We will be watching with held breath to see if this dedication to unfiltered emotion allows her to make history once again at the next awards ceremony. The conversation around vocal training has been changed forever by this 20-year-old independent artist. Hook. The world is watching. Will the Barefoot Queen's dedication to authenticity finally crown her as the greatest of all time, or will the system fight back?